What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 13, and we start today's episode off with a squad report, a reminder that we're trying to do at least one squad report per episode right now, but there's actually two squad reports in this episode, so this is the first of two. And as you can see about the team, it's developing really nicely. I seem to say this every single time a squad report comes around, but there's some good progression by the vast majority of players. Yes, there are some that are decreasing in stats, mainly because they're in their 30s or just aren't getting played, to be honest, but a lot of them improving really nicely, and I'm liking this progression as well. Of course, the first season, as we all knew, was always going to be one of the least interesting because we're using players who are very low overalls with probably, pretty average potentials, to be fair, because we don't really have any money. And of course, those players aren't even our players, they're loan players. But even so, we've done really well with what we've had to work with. We've got no money whatsoever, yet we brought in so many good, decent young players on loan. And as you can see by the table, we're in second place even, with 4 points separating us in first place, comfortably in the top two positions as well. I can't even see us dropping down to a playoff place right now. It seems as though we're definitely going to get automatic promotion as things stand. But even so, we take on Girona for the first game of today's episode, and I did decide to simulate it as well. There was a few games simulated in this episode too, because as the season is, coming towards its close, we're taking on sides who are in the mid-table positions and clubs that are sort of in the bottom half of the table as well. And we expect to win these games relatively comfortably, and they're not going to be too interesting. We won the first game by 2-0. Then we took on Tenerife, the side who came to us after the January transfer window and said, would you take us over and manage our club? And I was like, no way, I don't think so somehow. They're sitting right down the bottom end of the table, and as you can see, we won this game as well by 1-0. Munir got it. So two simulated games, but two wins, and again, we've won every simulated game but one so far. We drew the other one, and it just goes to show you how, pretty comfortable it's been for us this season, to be honest. A real shock, because I thought this would be a really difficult season, and we might be settling for a mid-table finish come the end of the year. But regardless, we also had a youth score monthly report as well, and as you can see, I looked at the players and they look okay. Marian Schwarzer looks like the best of those three, and I decided to continue scouting on him. I hope he's not going to get poached away by another club, but I think I might go ahead and sign him the next time a youth score monthly report comes around, because he doesn't actually look too terrible. And okay, his potential won't be the best, but we sort of know with a one-star experience and judgment scout, we can't really expect to pick up the next Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, whoever else in terms of a good young midfielder. But even so, I think Schwarzer could be a decent young midfielder for the future if we do get him into our academy, but we'll have to wait and see. But still, we took on Las Palmas for the first play game of today's episode, and of course they're currently sitting in 5th place, and as you would have seen by the league table, it looks pretty much guaranteed that we're going to finish in the top 2, which is of course automatic promotion to La Liga. Now, I don't want to jinx that, but it does look as though it's most likely going to happen, because there's such a gap between 2nd and 3rd place. In the playoff places right now, all of those teams, those 4 teams in the playoffs, seem to be fighting each other for higher ranked positions. None of them really feel as though they can get into the top 2, really. And the first chance this game would fall to us in the 13th minute, and the first goal would be scored as well. Tunkara got it there as the free kick. I actually drilled in a shot towards the centre, tried to cause a scramble, and Tunkara ends up diving in and making it 1-0. So Las Palmas 0, Racing Santander 1, just before the quarter of an hour mark, and it is Tunkara who gets the goal there. He's a player who I do like, but with Buenacasa and Sandro working so well up top together, I rarely ever play him, to be honest. But he does come off the bench a bit, and he does score goals here and there. That's his 6th goal in the Liga Adelante this year, and that made it 1-0. On the 50th minute though, Las Palmas summed up what this division's been all about. They had a really nice passing build up there, and the shot went wide of the post when it looked easier to miss the target. Sorry, easier to score than miss the target, and it was still 1-0 as Castellano couldn't hit the target there. So still 1-0, and with 6 minutes to go, we pass out from the back, just retain possession really, no real need to just pump the ball forward and surrender possession, so we just retain possession really and pass the ball around, but eventually played a through ball into Mariano here off the bench. He keeps on going, chips it inside towards Tunkara, and the man on loan from Lazio gets his 2nd goal of the game and wraps up the 3 points, and I thought that was a really nice goal, to be honest. Just really nice passing, really patient, and that's the one thing I've enjoyed about using this team this year. And I know, again, I say it it every episode, but it is true. I do know that the games aren't going to be that interesting and aren't going to be too enthralling and too exciting and action-packed with loads of 5-star skills and, you know, amazing 30-yard screamers. But even so, it's kind of nice to play at a really slow tempo, really low pace, and just pass the ball around and feel like you're really in control of the game, you know, because when I usually play career mode or any type of game on FIFA, I usually just try and exploit the pace and counter-attack, play counter-attack in football, but using this team, you can't really do that, so it's all about what you do with the ball at your feet, as opposed to your off-the-ball movements and your right trigger abusing. But still, we took on Albacete for the next game here, and as you can see, Sandro gave us the lead in the 8th minute. Jose Pozo did get an injury in this game, which is a bit of a shame, and he will be out for a week, but other than that, we got ourselves the win, and again, another simulated game ends with the 3 points, and we get Manager of the Month after that, which is kind of nice as well. And then we move on to our second squad report of the episode. I don't think I've ever done that before in career mode, showing 2 squad reports in a single episode, but you can check out how the players are doing. And again, you know, I am simulating these games, and I know that not everyone likes simulation, but of course in the first season that was always going to happen. But even so, it's crazy to know we're still picking up the points, and that's because this team isn't that bad, you know, like it's crazy. But at the start of the season, the media tipped us to finish in 20th place, and I was like, that's not going to happen because this team isn't that bad. Okay, maybe mid-table at worst, but definitely playoffs, in my opinion, were more than achievable. I guess the reason the media probably thought we'd finish in 20th is because they might not register the players we have on loan, and therefore they'd just be looking at the players we have that are like 50, 56 rated or whatever. But this team is full of really decent young players, loads of mid-60s and high 60s. And I know that probably sounds terrible, but for this division, that's totally fine. But as you can see by the league table, we have actually gone ahead and reclaimed first position on the head-to-head record. I mentioned it in the last episode, even though Real Valladolid have a much better goal difference than us, the reason we're ahead of them is because of the head-to-head record. So we are top of the table as things stand with just a few games to go. And that feels really, really good, because I didn't know whether we'd be able to get the championship this year, but as things stand, touch wood, we are in pole position. However, we took on Mirandes at home. I decided to simulate it because they are the bottom place team and we're top of the table. I thought we'd win this game with ease, and we almost lost it until Buena Casa scored an equaliser 5 minutes from time. So I can't believe that after all of the games we've won relatively comfortably on the simulations, to almost lose from first taking on the last place team, that's ridiculous. But at least we got a point, and it's a shame because it does mean we've been knocked off top of the table. We are now back into second place again, so our lead at the top is only for one game. But as you would have seen by the news article there, it did go by pretty quickly. We have indeed secured promotion, and we will be playing in La Liga next year. There is 4 games to go, and this game was second versus third, taking on Real Betis here, but we have guaranteed La Liga football next year, which is incredible. I mean, it's truly fantastic. And again, I know that we're not that bad, and I know that we definitely should have been at least competing for a playoff place this year, but to know that with 4 games to go, we've guaranteed promotion to La Liga next year, I'm so pleased with that, and I'm already got my head on next year and beginning to think what we'll be doing next year in La Liga and how we'll be doing our best to survive. But still, we did take on Real Betis for the final game of today's episode here away from home, and Betis, they've done well to stick with the top 2, but as you can see, they haven't really done enough to fight for a promotion place, and now they are going to be having to consolidate a place in the playoffs. But we took them on here, and the first goal we scored in the 8th minute, and it came through an unlikely source as well. Hector Bellerin, the former Arsenal right back, getting the goal. Very nice build up again, just like in the game before against Las Palmas. Really, really nice passing. We released Bellerin, and he gets his first goal for the club in the 9th minute, and it's a fantastic start here away from home as we take the lead. But just a few minutes later, Real Betis are on the ball, and as Torres finds the ball for them outside the area, he picks out Shuli, who strikes it, and the shot hits the bar, and the follow-up shot is brilliantly blocked as well by Quincy and turned behind for a corner. So still Betis 0, Santander 1, but Real Betis getting themselves back in the game here, and in the 21st minute, Torres is on the ball for them again, and he finds Shuli back to Reyes into Molina here. They have a really nice passing style of play, Betis, and as the ball gets played inside towards Kajuda, he strikes it and finds the back of the net, and Betis are back on level terms. So deservedly so, really. They were playing really good football in the first half of this game, and the number 16 did indeed get them their goal and put them back on level terms. So 1-1 here, but on a stroke of half time we go on the break. Artiles finding Migueles, and as Migueles picks the ball up here, it's a really good chance for a counter. He picks out Buena Casa, who nods the ball on. It goes through 1-on-1. Can he keep his composure? Yes, he can. He finesses the ball past the goalkeeper and makes it 2-1. So with us playing La Liga football next year, he is definitely one of the main reasons we'll be doing that. That's now his 14th goal in the Liga Adelante, which, okay, isn't too amazing, but as our team hasn't scored as many goals, it's more been about the defensive style of play. He's been one of the big reasons for us getting promotion, and he makes it 2-1 there. And in the 49th minute, our Tyler is on the ball down the left-hand side, crosses the ball in, and Buena Casa really should have scored, but his header went wide and out for a goal kick. So still 2-1, and with 20 minutes to go here, Real Betis had the last chance of the game. Molinari down the right-hand side, goes down the right-hand side and crosses the ball in towards Renea in the centre, and his header goes over the bar and out for a goal kick. And it is how the game finishes as well. So a 2-1 victory. We'd already guaranteed promotion. We keep ourselves in the hunt for the title as well. That's what the next episode will be all about. Can we go ahead and claim the title? We know we're up to La Liga, but we do want to do it as champions, and this win keeps us in the hunt for that title. As unlikely as it may have seemed at the start of the season, there is a real possibility with just 3 games to go. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, because it's much appreciated and really does help my channel out. And the last thing you'll see is us do indeed sign Marian Schwarzer for our academy for next season, and here's hoping he could be one of many good youth players to come through this series. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.